What most people are missing about this, and what the media is purposely ignoring, is Milo Yiannopoulos, who has reinvented himself as a supposed ex-gay Catholic, he says now, is pulling Kanye West's strings to a certain extent and is his new presidential campaign manager. And he's the one who introduced Kanye and his new friend. And some of Milo's old posts on Parler are very interesting, where he said that he was going to dedicate the rest of his life to destroying the Republican Party and has denounced President Trump, saying that he feels totally betrayed and that he will, quote, have vengeance. So this may have been a plan to smear President Trump by guilt through association. And after the dinner, Kanye says that he asked Donald Trump to be his vice president for his campaign since he's running for president too. And the point of Kanye West running for president is specifically to raise awareness for his issues that he has regarding the entertainment industry. Things that a few other celebrities have mentioned, like Mel Gibson when he was drunk that one time, and Marlon Brando when he was on Larry King Live back in the 1990s. But they always immediately profusely apologize right afterward. But Kanye is not.
So it seems like other communities have an issue with people doing the apology quote unquote tour as well, which their apology tour is nowhere near comparable to the apology tour that people from our community go on. But what do you think about that? And what do you think about Milo? That's the main stuff that I wanted you to say.
So Milo used to be gay?
How does that work? That goes into that whole LGBTQ rabbit hole that we always, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that
I don't want to say dive in because that sounds, you know what I'm saying?
During our live streams, which is every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, during our live streams, I always drag you into that LGBTQ rabbit hole.
Always.
You never bring it up. It's always me that's like, hey, I got some LGBTQ stuff for you. Let's go through it.
It's like,
but yeah, I didn't know is he like self-proclaimed? Like, is this something that he says like he used to be gay or something like that? Or is there like video evidence like he used to do like gay like live streams or something like that, or video uploads? Or
well, it's really weird because if I recall correctly, him and Amazing Lucas a couple years back when there was that straight pride parade, Milo actually went to the straight pride parade. I don't know, man. Like the LGBT.
There was a straight pride parade a couple of years ago, and Amazing Lucas went to it.
Yeah, Amazing Lucas live streamed from it.
Was this back before? Was this back when Amazing Lucas was on his Officer Tatum tip? Because he's Black Power now. But was this back when he was? Was this back when he was like hardcore conservative? Like
that was back when he was. Yeah, that was back. That was back in them days. That was back in. Was back in when he said Ignorance. He was talking about Black people days.
Oh, okay. Now, because now when he says ignorance, he's talking about
now he specifies. Now it's white ignorance or Black ignorance.
Oh, okay. But outside of that too, like that's a really good point that you raised up concerning our apology tours versus theirs. Mel Gibson. I didn't know Marlon Brando said that same thing. But like these are when you're talking about the Mel Gibsons and then Marlon Brandos of the world. These people are, or were, at the time, I think Marlon Brando's dead now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But, or mega stars, man. Mega stars. And they've been that, or were that, because, Brando's dead, for decades, longer than Kanye West has even been on the scene. Like these guys have been that. And for them to echo the same thing, and granted, they're white. So they get to see the innermost workings of the entertainment industry more so than Kanye, what he gets to see. You get what I'm saying? They see it more. They see more than what he's allowed to see. And for them to draw that same conclusion as Kanye now has drawn with the limited access that he's had, you know what I mean? The access that Kanye has is way more than us, but I would assume it's limited compared to Marlon Brando and Mel Gibson. And for all of them to draw that same conclusion and come to that same point consistently, that kind of says that what they're saying is correct, but then it follows up with the profusely having to apologize right afterwards.
Right.
But the big difference is, once again, going back to color, right? Their apologies, like, I remember like Mel Gibson, when I remember that little drunk DUI rant that he went on, he kind of just like said, my bad, y'all. and that was the end of it. You know, and it was over. But like the apology tour that Nick Cannon apologized for like 2 years straight. Like I'm not even like exaggerating when I said that. This man apologized for about 2 years straight and kept talking about how he's atoning, and I'm in he kept using those words, atonement, and there has to be atonement. It's like, all right, bro, like it's been 2 years now. You still atoning for whatever you said with Professor Griff, you know, on your show, you know, on Cannon's class concerning, you know, who are the real Hebrews and stuff like that. You see what they did with Kyrie Irving, right? You know, and how he had to just go through all these hoops and hurdles just to get back on the court again, and what they would like from Kanye, but Kanye's not giving it to them. You know, huge difference. We got to beg, crawl, and grovel, but on the other side of the palm, you know, on the other side of the hand, you know, it's just you just kind of say, oh, my bad. And that's the end of it. It goes away and you good again. You know.
Here's my question, right? So let's just go down that rabbit hole. So we're saying that there's some elements of ancestry and history that have been deleted, right? That's what Ronald Dalton and everybody, you know, the Black Hebrew Israelites and a lot of these people are saying, right? There's been some things that have been changed. We're not allowed to say that as we're sitting here in 2022 watching the white political parties attempt to change our history.
Black history, that is, yeah.
Our history, particular Black history here in America. Give it 100 years, it'll be anti-Semitic to say that you're a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade. Mark my words.
Yeah, I mean, you even showed on your channel how it's like magic. They were able to turn the Buffalo shooting into like an anti-Semitic situation that occurred, right?
Yeah.
Somehow that was anti-Semitism. You know, 10 black Americans get killed by white supremacists who writes a manifesto, who very clearly in his manifesto said, I'm going to this Tops grocery store in this Buffalo neighborhood for the purposes of killing these black Americans. I'm targeting them specifically. And if you watch the video, and I did, I went and there's ways that you can, you know, watch that video that he produced, right, of what he did, right? Obviously not on YouTube. There was a part in the video when he goes in, he's doing what he does, and he points his firearm at a white person, and they go, no. And if I remember correctly, he apologized. He goes, oh, sorry. And then like he goes, and at that point, like the video, maybe like 10 seconds later, the video actually ends. You know what I mean?
Talking about Peyton Gendron.
Yeah, Peyton Gendron. Gendron. You know, after the guy goes, oh, sorry, the video like ends like maybe 10 seconds later. And as usual, I forgot where I was going with this. So take it away, Rob.
Oh no, you're just saying how I mean, it's clear, you know, what happened with that whole situation. And it was
okay, no, I got it back. I got it back now. All this is clear, right? Concerning you know, who was the intended target, essentially. But somehow, based off the information that you showed with the articles that were coming out, they spun it into anti-Semitism. And this is something that you proved. Like, you didn't come up with this off the top of your head. You were producing the articles. You were showing the evidence that now this is about anti-Semitism. You know, and also coming off of the Buffalo shooting, if I remember correctly, which I know I do, Congress passed a Jewish like hate resolution, I believe it was, coming off of the Buffalo shooting where 10 black Americans were killed.
Yeah.
And they were the ones specifically targeted per Peyton Gendron's manifesto. I'm going here for black Americans. But somehow anti-Semitic hate resolution is passed in Congress as opposed to an anti-black hate crime bill. That's interesting to say the very least.
Yeah, and that's what they do all the time. That's the shakedown operation that those people do. You know what I'm saying? And they do it through their front organizations like the ADL and stuff like that. And I mean, you know, it blatantly happens. But then when you talk about it, you're anti-Semitic. I mean, like, this is the thing, like Kyrie Irving, He didn't even say anything like what I'm saying. All he did was tweeted something with no context. That's it. I'm actually saying, look at what these people did. Like, you can't talk about their involvement in the slave trade. Are you serious? They're adosos too. You know, like you adosos, you translucentites too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and for those of you, adoso means American descendants of slave owners, just so you all know.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And translucentites means if you're translucent. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, you know, it is what it is. And like, my thing is like, people got to get into coming up with creative terms like that, because like the ADL is on it. And honestly, I think that it's a big trap. We actually had this conversation, you know what I'm saying, the other day, like, where I think it's a big trap to allow certain levels of free speech that aren't the best choices of free speech to use, and then they can kind of come back and strike and do whatever it is that they want to. And it's like, well, you know, they weren't enforcing this before, why did they just happen to do it now? Was because you have like this long track record of basically saying blatant stuff. That's one of the reasons why other groups of people, when they talk about us, they use dog whistles, because they always have plausible deniability.
And that's how they swoop your channel all at once with no warnings, none of those steps. There's the warning as far as YouTube is concerned, right? Warning, strike 1, strike 2, then strike 3, you're out. And one foul swoop, they'll say, we manually reviewed your channel, not particular videos, but they'll like just sit back and go through some videos on your channel. And they say, you know, we're not even going through the steps. Like we manually reviewed your channel and you talking crazy. The whole thing just got to go. Forget a strike, you know, you out like that. You're just out. You're ejected. No technical, no first technical foul, no second technical foul, basketball terms, right? No 3 strikes and you're out, baseball term. No, you're just ejected immediately. Get out of here, you know?
Right.